News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. There is only one man that I want to talk to about sports, one man who is funny and makes us all laugh and, of course, tells us what's really going on, gives us the tea leaves and the truth on the sports. That every morning is Steve Lamb, and appreciate you coming on today, Steve, on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Hello.
I was going to say one man whose alarm is going to go off in about another 6 hours to be a part of that morning show that starts at 5 in the morning. One man who's trying to keep up with you. Here we are in May, and you called me up earlier today and go, "Hey, Lambo, can you come on and kind of break down the Cowboys schedule for me?" And I'm going, we've got a Game 5 taking place in Dallas with the Stars and the Avalanche.
That's accurate.
We've got a Mavericks game in Oklahoma City that's kind of going back and forth right now. We've got a Rangers team that's lost 5 in a row trying to get out of that hole they're in, and I think they're going to win tonight. And, oh, by the way, we've got the Dallas Cowboys out with their 2024 draft with an owner who says way back several months ago he's all in. I don't know if he'll have that same reaction when he looks at this schedule. I found it interesting, the boys on the NFL Network, along with ESPN, breaking down what the Cowboys' 17 games would be. And despite this team for the last 3 years in a row going 12-5, they're seeing 10-7. 10-7 doesn't get you to where Jerry wants to go by being all in, which means winning another Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anything, Chris, really jumps out. You've got a lot of games on, what do we got? 3 games on a Sunday night. Of course, the networks love it anytime the Cowboys are on their network.
Right.
And Fox gets the first game. And what's interesting about that one, word leaked on this a few days ago that they would open up in Cleveland against the Browns. And why that one's interesting is because Tom Brady will become the lead analyst for the Fox network, and that will be his first telecast. So you'll have a lot of people maybe watching to see how Brady's going to transition from being the greatest player ever on the field to coming now from the press box and calling the games. So we'll see how that goes. Then the Cowboys come home for a couple games back-to-back playing at AT&T Stadium, starting out with the New Orleans Saints, followed by the Baltimore Ravens. That one's interesting to me because Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott have never been on the field at the same time. So that's kind of a good matchup. Then you have the regulars in your division, the Giants, the Commanders, and you've whom am I leaving out? The Eagles, who Dallas was fighting out to see who was going to win the NFC East last year.
Right.
Dallas finally did. So they'll play the Saints here and then the Ravens, and then they have a Thursday night game at the New York Giants. That's their 4th game of the season. Then they're back out on the road following that at the Pittsburgh Steelers, a Sunday night game, before they come home to face the Detroit Lions. What a great playoff game that was last year, and the Lions will be one of the teams to beat in 2024. Then they get a bye in the schedule before they have to go to the San Francisco 49ers. We all know how the 49ers seem to have the Cowboys number, or they have the last few years. Another Sunday night game before Dallas goes to Atlanta. Then the Eagles here. That's the 10th game of the season. And then we've got a Monday night game with the Houston Texans. Watch out for the Texans this year playing here against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Then you've got the first of the 2 meetings at the Washington Commanders. Cowboys, of course, facing their former defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, who left to become the head coach there. Thanksgiving Day, Giants at the Cowboys. The New York Giants will be here. I don't know that the Giants are going to be any better this year than they were a year ago, but that's your Thanksgiving Day feast. Before the Cowboys have our boss is all fired up. The Cincinnati Bengals will be at AT&T Stadium for a Monday night game where the Cowboys go to Carolina. Then they've got the Buccaneers, another Sunday night game at Philadelphia and Washington in the final game of the regular season. 12-5, 3 years in a row. Can they do that again this year? they better, or I think you're going to see a lot of changes on this Cowboys team. You know, everybody wants a bigger paycheck starting with Dak. Then you've got CeeDee Lamb, still no word. He hasn't been at any of the camps up to this point as he waits to get paid. And then Micah Parsons, also a part of that mix. So, but again, it's May, and here we are, Croc talking football.
Well, let me ask you a question, brother. And yeah, that's May. But let me ask you a question. Did I hear you say, and I may have misheard you, that you're thinking 10 wins, 7 losses by looking at the schedules? Is your speculation?
I was watching the guys. You had the NFL Network releasing the schedule along with ESPN. Now, the reason ESPN on their main channel doesn't have that because they're televising the NBA playoffs. Yeah. And then they've been flip-flopping back and forth with TNT on the NHL playoffs. Mm-hmm. So their main channel tonight didn't have it, but they were able to back it up. And so their guys, and again, they have all these guys that played the game, you know, the NFL insiders, we call them on the air, looked at 10 wins and 7 losses for the schedules that the Cowboys are looking at right now.
What do you think about that?
I think it's May. You know, I'm talking football.
Right.
I can throw a dart against the wall and tell you here's who they should beat. Here's what I think's going to happen.
Right.
But then all you've got to do is go back to last year, Chris.
Yeah.
And they went to Arizona, one of the worst teams in the NFL a year ago.
Yes.
And got beat by the Cardinals.
Yes.
So to sit here and tell you they're going to win that game, you just don't.
Right.
I mean, I'm throwing darts out, and I'm not very good at playing darts.
Neither am I. The other question is I wanted to ask you about this. This kind of made me laugh, or whatever. Not laugh, but maybe go, what? Okay, revealed from the Daily Mail. Staggering cost NFL fans will have to pay to watch every game after lucrative Netflix deal. Also, some people are scratching their heads. An NFL Christmas Day game. Yeah, talk to me because you want me to tell you it's $1,610 to watch all the NFL games this season. Cable TV or a YouTube TV subscription, NFL Sunday Ticket, Amazon Prime, Peacock, ESPN Plus, NFL, and Netflix. What the what?
But Chris, you know the story that you go back year after year for the last 5, 6, 7 years, usually 90 out of the top 100 TV shows in the course of the year.
Yes.
They're NFL football games.
Yes.
So the NFL knows people are watching. They know that people want to watch their favorite team. So they're going to step up and pay.
Milk
especially, and one of the first things that I saw popping up on both the NFL Network and ESPN tonight and watching the release of the schedule, they were, hey, don't forget you can buy your tickets now. They're promoting the ticket sales. And Cowboy fans are looking at this schedule going, yeah, I might want to go to that game, 6th game of the season when the Lions come to town. I might want to see the Eagles or the Texans play here. So, and it's like our boss, you know, he's a Bengals fan, so he's going to want to go see Cincinnati. And if you can't pay what it's going to cost for you and your significant other or buddy, whatever it is, or God forbid a family of 4
right.
to a football game, I mean, open up your 401k,
yes,
or 201k, because you're going to shell out a bunch of bucks. Now, it's much more cost family friendly if you go to a baseball game, but they play 81 over the course of a season. We're talking about a Cowboys schedule with 17 games, and 8 of those are on the road. So you don't have as many opportunities with home games, and then the playoffs.
So, Steve, when I look at this, I'm like, the NFL seems to be purposely, they're a business. They want to make money, so they seem to be purposely, having to sprinkle it through all these different networks or streaming services so they can maximize their money. And that's how they're going to maximize it, is by having, one pay a lot, different one pay a lot, different one pay a lot, and having that way, if you want it all, you got to buy them all, right? Or rent them, use them all.
Right. Yeah. Just get your credit card out and, so you can pay whatever the going rate is now.
Yeah.
When you don't pay the bill, it's expensive to be a sports fan.
Yeah.
But pick a hobby. I don't know what your hobby is outside of being on the radio.
Yeah.
You're a family guy, but
my yard and my family.
Well, and you know when you go to buy fertilizer to fertilize that yard and then mow it and edge it and blow it.
Yep.
You're spending a couple $100 a week.
Yep.
If you're doing it right.
So you're doing these too. I mean, you have to, I guess, for your job. You're doing all these services as well because you have to, huh? My gosh.
Well, I think my CPA says it's a tax write-off.
Well, good luck on that if it's your W-2. Mine tells me it's not.
Yeah, I know.
Steve Lamb, I appreciate you very much, especially this late in the day, and you prove yourself worthy of being the authoritative sports figure.
Well, I don't know about the authoritative part, but I was giving you a guilt trip about, hey, I got to get up in a few hours, but I'm not going to bed yet. I'm going back to see how the Stars game plays out. Hopefully they win tonight, and see how the Mavericks game plays out. Hopefully they win tonight. But They're always busy. We've got the PGA is playing their championship, their second major of the year this week in Kentucky. That tees off tomorrow.
And that guy left his wife in the middle of this tournament. I can't remember his name. The Australian guy, I think he is, or a golfer? It's been all.
I thought you were going to bring up Scotty Scheffler, who's the world's #1 ranked golfer.
That might be him. That's probably him.
Who just he said at the Masters that if his wife gave birth or said I'm about to go into labor,
that's him.
That he was going to leave the tournament. He won the tournament, and then he won another tournament. Scotty Scheffler is the man to beat as they play. But I was mentioning golf because the PGA Tour is back in DFW next week at the Colonial Country Club with the golf tournament being played there. So my point being, Chris, there's always something, whether it's FC Dallas, whether it's NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, there's always something going. And, of course, the Cowboys always lead the pack.
The guy I forgot is Rory McIlroy.
Oh, Rory McIlroy. Yeah.
Yeah, he filed divorce papers in the middle of a tournament, right, or something? I don't know. It's been all over the news.
You're reading different websites than I am.
Daily Mail. Daily Mail. Daily Mail, which is a bastion for sports, obviously. Anyway. All right, Steve Lamb, I appreciate you, my friend. And I know you got some games to watch. I appreciate you. We'll talk to you. I'll see you on the air tomorrow morning.
All right.
Take care, brother. There he goes. All right, there he goes. Okay, coming up next on the Chris Crock Show. That was good. That was fun. Coming up next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Executive order. Joe Biden is planning on an executive order on illegal immigration. He said he didn't have the power to do it. He needed Congress. Now is he changing his mind? And is it too late for him to do better in the polls with immigration, which is why he's actually doing this? That's next to the Chris Crock Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. News Talk 820 WBAP now. That's right now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Joe Biden, get ready for this. This is quite the humorous thing to happen. Suddenly, Joe Biden now says, well, he hasn't said it publicly, but this is from fake news. Well, not the fake news, CNN, but this is from New York Post. Biden plans executive order to shut down border once crossings reach 4,000 a day, despite saying he needs Congress to act. That was funny. Okay. Do you remember that? He said, just give me the power. I need Congress. Just give me the power, and we'll do that. And then you know how he's been beating up Republicans for on and off for 8 months. We had a deal. We had a bipartisan deal. Would have stopped this all. Yes, it would have allowed up to 5,000 illegals every day for listen to this. If it averages 5,000 a day for 7 days, then the border shuts down. Do you understand this? So they could do 4,500 a day. Which is what? Well, it's 28,000 to do 7 times 4, and then 7 times 5 is 3,500. So they can literally do 31,000. I can't believe my math skills on the fly. 31,500 illegals per week and that would not trigger it. Do you understand this? I'm going to repeat that again. It's so pathetic. I want to scream. Okay, 4,000 a day. If his executive order actually will, if it hits 4,000 a day, but the one he was raving about with Republicans and blaming us for not signing, which is a joke, it was amnesty, was it would have made us pay for the illegals' attorneys. It would have given billions to cities to house the illegals that Joe Biden's flooded us with. It was a joke. It was an absolute disgrace. However, Joe said, just give me the power. I can't do it. He now plans to do what he lied to us for 2 years, 3 years, and we all knew he could do, is to have an executive order that would shut down the border once crossings reach 4,000 per day, despite Congress, him saying Congress needed to act. Biden told Univision last month that, quote, we're examining whether or not I have that power. So anyway, my question for you, just to give you an idea how bad Joe Biden, his invasion has not stopped. I'm going to say this again because it's very important to just sit on it for a second. His invasion has not stopped. I'll tell you the average of illegals we're getting per day, but I want to ask you the question right now. Do you think Joe Biden, his executive order that he was going to do, he's going to release soon, according to the reports, 4,000 a day or more, it'll shut down the border. Do you think this will help Biden gain in the polls on immigration, or do you think it's too late? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Chime in right now. Got lines wide open for you. Do you think Joe Biden announcing in the near future an executive order to shut the border down if they hit 4,000 or more illegals per day at the border, will that help change the numbers, his polling numbers, his horrible polling numbers on immigration? Or do you think it's too late for him to do anything? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I think it's incredibly too late. It will not change anybody's mind. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows this is his invasion. He wants the third world takeover of America, and he's succeeding wildly at it. This is his dream, and it's achieving it, and everybody knows he'll do it. He'll double and triple down on it if he gets the keys to the car again for another 4 years. No, he will not change anybody's mind. Absolutely not. But he'll use it. You know what he wants to do? He wants to have this changed so when he goes to debate Trump in 6 weeks for the debate he's agreed to do with Trump now on June 27th, he wants to have it in place so he can say, I shut the border down. You wouldn't do anything. It's like, no, dude, you have invaded us and the world knows it. It'll be interesting to watch that debate in 6 weeks because I don't know if Trump can handle himself well without being a jerk. I love him, and I don't care if he's a jerk, but the problem is the average person freaks out and doesn't want to vote for him. So all I care about is winning and having Trump as our president. But anyway, 800-288-WBAP. We have 3 lines open. Get on with us. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Do you think this will help Joe Biden gain in the polls on immigration, or do you think it's too late? I'm going to give you the latest the latest numbers on Joe Biden's approval on immigration. It's going to be funny. I also want to tell you how many illegals per day we had in March. The latest figures available. All that's next on the Chris Crock Show. Do not miss it. 3 lines open. Get on that line. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. That's next. News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Okay, Joe Biden is poised to unleash his executive order that he said he couldn't do, didn't have the power to do. Give me the power. That's why this invasion's out. Get out of here, you big fat liar. Everybody knows it. Do you think this will help Biden gain in the polls on immigration, or do you think it's too late? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. By the way, in March, an average of 6,300 illegals per day. That doesn't include gotaways. And the latest approval rating, before we go to Jason in North Richmond Hills here in a sec, the latest approval ratings added up together in the Real Clear Politics average, Biden is negative 29.4% approval rating. Basically negative 29%. Biden is underwater 29%. Almost 63% disapprove is illegal is an immigration policy. 63% disapprove, only 33% approve. There you go. 2/3 versus 1/3. You're winning, Joe. Yeah. Jason, North Richland Hills, you're on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Hello.
No, I think.
Hi, Jason. Is that you or is that somebody else? Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Jason.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, sorry, man. I'm in and out getting a cheeseburger.
Did you order an iced tea too? I think I heard that.
No, man. Just cheeseburger, fries, and a milkshake.
Nice.
I'm going all out tonight. Yeah.
No, you're going all in.
Man,
what is it called? All in and out?
On, man.
Say it again, brother.
Yeah, in and out. I love it.
Good.
Classic,
yeah.
man.
Good.
Best.
I have to tell you real fast. I have to tell you something real fast. I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
We went to In-N-Out as soon as I got here. I'd never been. And I love that they have scripture on the upside, the bottom of the cups and stuff. But so I'd love to support them, but I was not impressed. I'm not going to lie to you. Sir.
Not crazy about the burgers.
I don't know. It's that the fries weren't any good. I'm like, what is this? We just,
Well, you got to eat the fries when they come out. If you let them sit, they get soggy because they're real potatoes.
Okay.
They're good. If you catch them when they're like steaming hot, right out of the fryer.
What do you do when they're not? Do you ask for some other ones?
They'll give you whatever you want.
Or do you suffer in silence, sir?
No, man. If they give you fries that are soggy, take them back. They'll give you more.
Okay.
Trust me, they'll switch them out.
How about this? How about I get fresh ones and then on the get go, and I come back with like 3 left, and I order another one and say, "Look, this is soggy." Go ahead.
They'll probably give it to you.
Go ahead. Yes. Yes.
It's funny because I did a lot of business on the West Coast. That's where it came from.
Okay.
And then it came here, and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to kill me.
Yes, it is.
But anyway. Per the subject today, I mean, obviously, people in general, I mean, the majority want these people out.
Right.
Like me. We want to deport them. That's what Trump wants to do. So any policy where there's more people coming in, nobody's going to support that. It's not going to happen. Criminals, rapists,
right,
terrorists, these people from the faux countries that we have, around the world. I mean, this China, Afghanistan, whatever. I mean, it just can never happen. So, again, I think we're in a position where this guy's going down hard. I mean, people are still, because we got burned during the last election. So, here's the thing. These guys, there's no doubt, but this is going to be the number one reason that he loses hard. People are still in denial, thinking that he's had a chance to win because he won last time.
Right.
But we've had a taste of the way he really is.
Right.
He's a criminal. He's corrupt. There's nothing good about this guy.
Right.
What he's done name one thing that he's done that's helped the USA.
Nothing. He's made it worse on the world stage with Israel, with Ukraine, with China, and with Afghanistan. So let me ask you this, though. You don't think even if he institutes this executive order they could have done on day one or kept Trump's stuff in place, you don't think it's going to change the minds of anybody? I don't. I think it's too late. It's
like I said, everybody knows that he's had the power from day one. That's been his big thing, trying to blame the Republicans. The real people that are halfway intelligent, which is more than half of the population, know that he's a liar. And that, again, he could have done it day one.
Right.
It's all about it's all about the census. It's all about the census for Congress. It's all about electoral votes. It's all about bringing the census up so that he can have these people that they cross the border. I love Joe Biden. Of course you do. And you know what? People like you are the reason our country is destroyed.
That's exactly right. Last question. I'm gonna go early on you. I'm gonna go nuclear on you from the 8 o'clock hour.
Bring it.
Okay, here we go. The debates. I'm sure you heard that Biden, unfortunately, came up with the debates like Trump said anytime, anywhere. So they worked it out. They kind of did some behind the scenes. Then Biden scooped it by saying it was me or whatever. But anyways, do you think the debates, speaking of how the immigration can't change it, and I agree with you, do you think the debates could change it? And why do you think Biden had it so early? Because you're such a good caller with such good observations and good taste. Well, I don't know about your taste in fast food, but go ahead, sir.
They're going to set it up where he has notes, where he can read prompts, where he's equipped to do things that people typically don't do in a debate.
But Trump's going to be there. He's not allowed to do that reportedly. Well, I don't know, but Trump's going to be there. So if he can't do it in front of Trump, can he? They're
going to rig it just like they do everything else. I mean, they're going to make it. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is Trump, 676? But he's sharp. He's all there.
Right. So you don't think it's going to move the needle for Biden to do it?
I think it'll help him before it happens. I think that when they do it, and he looks like a complete moron because he's already said that the high-flying media cannot be part of that, I think that's why. He knows right now that he can't win.
Why did he knock it up to June? Is it because he knows he can't? Is it because he knows he's losing right now and he's got to try to grasp?
He's so far behind on everything that nobody supports him. Even his own party, you know that, Chris. I mean, his own party doesn't even like him.
Let me say one more thing that was really interesting. I don't know if you watch Fox News, but Mark Penn is a contributor. He was a Clinton pollster, and he does polling right now for one of the big outlets out there. And it'll be a Democrat and a Republican pollster. He'll be the Democrat one. I can't remember. It's one of the really big ones. Anyways, he was interviewed on Fox today. He said this was a move of desperation, a desperate move.
For sure. There's no question. I mean,
Wow.
again, it's over for him. I mean, the guy is, and look, the Democrats know it. This whole thing, this far left, wokeism, progressive, fly off the wall radical thing doesn't work. It won't work. You know what? He even said before he took the presidency that I'm a four-term, when he was campaigning, I'm a four-term president. He knew he was too old later, not even capable when he took it the first time.
I pray to God you're right, but
He did. Yeah,
it's not happening until it happens. That's my only thing. Is like we cannot.
Right. I mean, it's so rigged, and this country is so backward with all these people that are corrupt and everything else. That look, but I'm still a firm believer that there's no way that Trump can lose.
I appreciate your optimism and your spirit and your energy and your enthusiasm, Jason.
Yeah.
Keep calling, brother. I appreciate you.
Every time.
Enjoy your burger. It's getting cold. Okay. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. That is 800-288-9227. I want to get into something else coming up next on the Chris Crock Show. Bidenflation. We've got some really, really bad numbers on how bad our savings accounts, our retirement plans, our people's credit cards are maxed. And it's just bad. And then including how fake news CNN even calls out Joe Biden, saying it's corporate greed. It's not. And they cite a great little thing that just came out on why Joe is wrong, and everybody knows he's wrong anyways. But then also, one of my dear friends, one of my most dearest friends here in the Metroplex that I love with all my heart, he and I sat down together. We were just talking about stuff and the situation people are experiencing in their homes. You need to be close with people, at least a couple of people. And he's one of my closest guys, period. And we share our troubles. And you need that with somebody, at least one or two people that you can trust. And so these intimate things about what we're all going through really opens up perspectives, and I want to give you a chance to share it. People don't know who you are or whatever. It's just about sharing, what are you going through right now? We're going to talk about that. How is all this? Because my friend quoted, he said some of the things. I'm like, I knew the numbers. This is more expensive than ever. I said blank. It's this. The 22% that's up from last year alone. Like, I'll tell you all about that. But this is what we're all really, really, really going through. And it's affected all of us, including people making over $100,000 a year were being affected. All that's coming up next in the Chris Crock Show. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227 on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Bidenflation has drained savings accounts and retirement plans. Let me just give you a few highlights on this. Year-over-year inflation, it's up again. It's 3.4%, twice the rate when Biden took over office, still right now this month. Prices have risen 20% since Joe Biden took office. That's all prices, 20% since this man took office in like 3.5 years. Groceries are up 21% since he took over. Rent is up 21%. Electricity is up 29%. I just renewed, and I saved like 0.1 of a cent, 0.2 of a cent from 2 years ago. This man is destroying everybody's bank accounts. In fact, real average weekly earnings, what our real earnings are with inflation, real average weekly earnings have been negative for 25 months. We've been losing earnings, not gaining earnings, for 25 months under this president. Americans have seen a 4.5%. It's actually 4.4%. Listen to this. Americans have gotten a 4.4% pay cut under Biden. In other words, the inflation he's given us, along with the raises we've gotten on the average as normal Americans, regular Americans, 4.4% pay cut. Under Trump, average wages rose. Weekly wages rose 8.2%. Would you like an 8% raise or a 4% pay cut? One is Trump, one is Biden. 8% raise or 4% pay cut. You pick it. There's a 12-point difference. Gas prices, it's $1.20 a gallon more today than when Joe Biden took office. You and I are paying $1.20 per gallon a day. I filled up yesterday for my SUV, 43, 44 bucks. It used to be 35. Thank you, Joe. Energy prices have soared almost 30% under Joe Biden, 13 times faster than the previous 7 years. The median priced home is now $402,000, a 50% increase over the last 4 years in houses. 50% more for the same house. We are freaking poor under this man. My buddy Eric Erickson blogging today, the facts. Rent and gas in April combined for more than 70% of price increases. Auto insurance premiums, 22.5% more from last year. The same bleeping auto policy for to insure your car today is 22.5% more today than it was a year ago today. You're paying 22% more. So if you pay $1,000 a month, $1,000 a year, you're paying $1,226 instead of $1,000 today. That's this. I want to punch a wall with this guy. It makes me angrier than I'll get out talking about this. How has this affected your life at home? How has this affected your life at home? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. How has this affected your life at home? Well, I'm going to tell you how. I was talking to my dear friend today, and this friend of mine was telling me that on his car, he's got an older car, and on his older car, it looks really nice. I didn't know how, he said it's got 100 and some odd miles on it, but I have 100,000 plus on both of my cars now, 101 and 127, but I think it's at 145 or something. I don't know. Anyways, he has only liability, and he has a low level of liability. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's crazy. Maybe your kid with a beater would, but not us. And we're about the same age. He's cut his lawn back to doing it only every 2 weeks with his lawn service. But he's tapped out. And the only way to make the ends meet now, if he has to, if something hits him hard with a big thing, is going to have to be to tap the 401k. He's like, we've already done that. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's my dear friend. And for me, oh, and by the way, listen to this. 1 in 7 Gen Z credit card users is maxed out. 1 in 7 Gen Z, their credit card is maxed out. 1 in 10 millennials, their card is maxed out. 1 in 10 Gen X, that's my generation, is maxed out. And maxed out is 90% of your credit card limits. So 10% of everybody, actually, to almost, like 15% of Gen Z are maxed out. 10% of millennials, 10% of Gen X are maxed out. And then guess what else is happening? This is something I'm going to tell you. Run like hell away from this. Excuse my language. Run away from it. These buy now, pay later. These things have cropped up everywhere. My credit card statements, I pay off my credit card every week, and I will not have it that any other way. Only other way it would have to be that where I didn't pay it off is if I had an emergency that was overwhelming, in the cost. All right, let's talk to Kevin in Rockwall. You're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM WBAP. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good. You were asking how this buffoon has affected my life.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, Kevin?
Cum
Go ahead.
laude. Yeah.
Sorry.
Graduated cum laude in 3 years. And me and my wife paid for it out of pocket.
Congratulations, my friend. That's good. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, now I'm dealing with paying for Joe Blow's kid that's on the 6-year plan and has student loans and all the good stuff. I'm just waiting on my turn to get some relief.
You won't get any relief. You're going to pay for people who are supporting killing Jews and wiping off Israel and screaming and yelling and illegally doing things on campuses. You're going to pay for their school.
I understand that, and it's just listen. I spent 10 years in Seattle, Washington. I understand crazy.
How long have you been here now?
Oh, I was born and raised here. I've been back here for 35 years.
Oh, that's good.
In my neighborhood, I see lots of Washington plates and New York plates, and
my gosh,
when I meet them, I always ask the same thing: refugee or missionary.
That's great.
So,
yeah, that's good. I appreciate your call, Kevin. I'm grateful that you called in. I love that you paid off your tuition and you are cum laude. Well, way to go, brother. Way to go. All right. You can call in right now, too. How has this affected your life at home, all this inflation? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I'll share that buy now, pay later statistic on how many people are behind on debt. It's a nightmare to buy that. I would never do that. Okay, also coming up next, the Chinese Communist Party. I just mentioned all these people rallying to kill Jews and for the Intifada and to wipe out Israel off the map on our campus, college campuses. Guess who's funding them? One of our enemies. That's next.